take it as a lesson, come as early as possible. It's just continuous stairs since the beginning, so be prepared. So this is the hardest part of the trail. Good morning everyone, it's 7:30 a.m. and we are going for the most famous hike in Madeira, which is Pico do Arieiro to Pico. I'm sorry if I'm spelling them wrong. Anyways, it is still dark time outside. We are going for the sunrise. We are very sleepy. We slept horrible last night. But anyways, a lot of people either go for the first viewpoint for sunrise, or they want to reach the sunrise during the hike, or at Pico Rivo. So you can choose which you prefer and one you can do, because for example we could have not woken up 2 hours ago, we would have been like zombies. So if you can do it, I think it's fun. You have to do the hike during nighttime, and a lot of people do that, but it is pretty hard. Anyways, I will let you know everything we are doing on the hike today and how difficult it is. I will show you the terrain and how maintained it is, how easy it is, and so on. So just follow along. And also, if you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. This is the only way you can support me, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you've watched my other videos from Madeira, you probably already know that we have already tried to go to Pico do Arieiro around 2 or 3 days ago, but the road was closed because of the weather. There was snow and ice around here 2 or 3 days ago, so be aware of that and don't leave this hike for the last day, because you could find yourself in that situation in which you can't do the hike because the police will stop you. But anyways, the sunrise was so beautiful. You could see it from my previous videos, and right now you can see that there are so many cars on this road, and I was really starting to wonder about the parking situation and if we'll have any difficulties, but I will talk about it in a few seconds, and it was pretty bad. Parking is full. It is not even 7 a.m. yet. Oh my gosh. That's insane. So guys, it is almost 8 a.m. and the parking is almost full, which is insane. How many people come for sunrise here? So take it as a lesson, come as early as possible, come more than half an hour before sunrise, because it is even more beautiful. We came a bit too late. We came 15 minutes before sunrise, and it is not that impressive right now. I mean, it is very beautiful, but it could have been insanely beautiful if we came at 7:30 maximum. Anyways, there are still, fortunately, parking spaces at the end of the parking. There are a lot of them, but we are also a lot of cars, so probably they will fill up in like 10 minutes. So if you come at around 9 a.m. you won't find any parking space, honestly, because if it's like this before 8, at 9 a.m. you have no chance of finding any parking spot. So as I've already told you, even though the parking spaces were filling up super quickly, we managed to find a spot for us. And look at this sunrise view. It was so beautiful, but afterwards, very quickly, a lot of fog came up and we could not see anything anymore, just a little bit of light. But if you look very careful, you will see that the sun is changing very fast in the video. And I also did a bit of a time lapse to show you how fast the sun was appearing, and it was stronger and stronger, obviously because of the sunrise, but it was so beautiful. So after seeing a foggy sunrise, it's still behind me, we are climbing some stairs, these ones, and we are headed to the first viewpoint. It's just continuous stairs since the beginning, so be prepared. Already at the beginning it starts to be a bit hard. Anyways, from now on I won't be talking during the trail at all, because it was super crowded and dangerous to look at the phone, but I will talk like this, telling you advice and everything you need to know about this hike. So for example, after we climbed a lot around here, we were surprised to see this road and a lot of cars parked, but I think that those cars were parked just temporarily. Anyways, feel free to pause this video if you want to read more about this trail and if you want to see what it's like and so on. But as I was saying, that parking, from what we know, is not for people that want to do the entire hike, because I think it is time limited, maybe for the people who just want to see the view here at the beginning and so on. So make sure you just read very carefully all the rules, maybe online and so on, to make sure you don't get a parking fine if you're staying staying for too long there. Anyways, you can see right now on the screen that in front of me is Mike, and we went on a wrong road at the beginning, but that was shorter, so we chose to do it also when coming back, which was funny, but we avoided some stairs at the beginning, so that is fine, and it was super safe. A lot of other people were going that way. And now at the beginning you can see the huge crowd of people that was in front of us, and the stairs, the fog. We were not seeing anything, so expect also this kind of weather. As I've already told you in the other vlogs, the weather in Madeira was horrible. It was literally a surprise what the weather will be like in around half an hour or 1 hour even. And I think it rained for 5 days out of 7 when we were there, but it was also March, so the weather during summer may be better if you want better chances of having a good weather. But anyways, if you are doing this trail around 7 or 8 a.m. as we did, make sure you have a lot of patience, because you can see in my video I'm filming literally everything so that you can know what to expect, but you can see huge crowds of people, and there were some people that were going super slow and they were not letting others pass them because it was pretty narrow. And basically lots of times we just stopped because we had to wait for the people in front to descend some stairs and so on. So make sure you either are very patient or you go at another time, because everyone has their own pace and it's very hard to go fast next to all these people because it is really narrow and dangerous. And now another surprise that I want to talk to you about is that now that it is super foggy, we were not seeing the huge cliff that was really next to us. And as a spoiler alert, the weather will get so much better later on this video and we were able to see everything. But when coming back to Pico do Arieiro, there was no fog around here, and we were finally able to see that there was a huge cliff around here that looked super dangerous, and also on the stairs at the beginning. And there we were overpassing, I think it's called, other people a lot. And if we would have seen that cliff, I think we would have been way more careful. But I guess also the fog has its own benefits because we were not seeing how dangerous it was. Anyways, another very important things about this trail, we did it round trip, so we went to Pico do Arieiro and back, and that was 15 kilometers on my smartwatch, and we did it in 7.5 hours with breaks included. And if you are accounting only for how long we walked, that was 4 hours and a half. So it was 4 hours and a half of walking and 3 hours of breaks, which is not really easy for everybody. It was very hard. On the internet I see that there are more than 2,000 steps to climb, so be prepared if you want to do it, and do not underestimate it because it is very hard. I know that it is probably the most famous hike in Madeira, and I understand why, because it is absolutely gorgeous, but it is very hard. It is not for everybody. And if you've been following my other vlogs, you know that I usually tell you that it is doable, it is not that bad, but with this one I am telling you the opposite. It was challenging even for us that are experienced hikers, so be aware of that. Get hiking shoes, get lots of sunscreen, because you are not covered by anything most of this trail. I know that in my video right now you don't see any sun, but you will see it later because the weather will be better, and you may also get a sunny weather. And the sun burns so much here because you have no trees, no nothing, so make sure you get sunscreen, make sure you get lots of water, and also something to eat, because we met with some hikers that were struggling because they were super hungry and they didn't have any food on them. So make sure you get water, sunscreen, and food. And anyways, another very important thing about this hike is that you can also do just one way, so you can do just 7 kilometers of this hike and then finish it. Do not turn back. Anyways, now we are going through a tunnel which was really nice, and this tunnel seemed very well maintained. We had some hikes where the tunnels were so much worse, so it was really nice to go go through this one. And after we went out of the tunnel, I wanted to show you that the terrain was not really that well maintained in all places. So you can see now we were climbing and it was a bit hard. We had to watch our step in order not to fall or slip. And you can also see that the terrain was really wet. So it has been raining a lot in the past days. We were super unlucky with the weather in Madeira, as I've already told you. So this is where the hiking shoes are super important, as I've already mentioned. And anyways, I was talking about doing the hike one way, and basically you can leave your car at Pico do Arieiro, and then at Pico Rivo you can get a taxi. I think it's around 60 euros if I'm not wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know down below in the comments, but you can read it on the internet, or you can call a taxi company and ask for how much it is. But I think the cheapest way to do this is just by booking a tour that is online, and they have shuttles. So right now online I've just checked, and really today as I'm posting this video it is 30 euros per person. They will get you on a shuttle to the starting point, and then at the end they will take you with a shuttle and get you back, I don't know where, maybe your hotel or maybe where their company is. But anyways, right now on the screen you can see another tunnel, and this one was huge. It was so tall, and we finally did not have to walk like giants inside the tunnels. But sometimes it was flooded. As you can see, there were some places with water, and the fog is not going away. We were not able to see any views, and I'm telling you that around here the views were so beautiful. They were really scary because the cliff was huge, as I've already told you, and I will show you the view and how beautiful it was. But it was kind of sad because we just enjoyed the hike but not the views at all, and this was really for more than half of the trail. So don't get your hopes too high for good weather, because anything can happen. And also you can see that even after hiking a lot, the crowds are still here. So if we took, I don't know, a 5 or a 10-minute break, a lot of people, a huge crowd would come next to us, and it would have been just like before overpassing them. So do not worry about going in front of the other people and so on, because it's literally crowded everywhere along the trail. Anyways, the third tunnel was insanely huge. I mean, it was super tall, but it was also very large, as you can see in the video. So this surprised us. It's like this hike has premium tunnels which is very funny. And anyways, even though this video is super long, I filmed a lot until Pico Rivo, and then I stopped filming on the way back because my battery was dying, because I was filming so much for you on the way to Pico Rivo. But anyways, a very important thing I want to tell you is that this video is just the part 1 that I want to do about this hike, because this video would have been way too long otherwise, and I never do such long videos. It would have been around 25 minutes, so this is not my type, and I will split it in 2. But don't worry, my next video will come up in just 4 days, and in that video I will show you everything without fog. So basically in this video I want to tell you all the basics, everything you need to know about this hike. But right now, as you can see, the fog is clearing up, and this video is also coming to an end very soon. Anyways, do you know what this bird on the screen is? Because I am not sure, but it was super cute. So if you know the name, please let me know, because it was super beautiful. But anyways, as I was saying, this video was not about the views, but it was about how difficult the trail is, and very important tips like sunscreen, food, and people, crowds, weather, and so on. Anyways, I also saw that there is an entrance fee right now. So if you want to do this hike, you have to pay 3 euros. Otherwise, you will get a fine of 50 euros. This is what I read online, so be aware of that. And maybe also the parking is paid, but I'm not sure. I read somewhere about 4 euros, but make sure you also read about it and get informed. I will just tell you our experience and what I've read now, informing myself better for this video. But as always, also do your own homework and make sure you know everything so that you don't get any surprises. Anyways, right now on the screen you could see a super steep staircase that was not made out of stone as the others, and that one broke everybody. We were all so tired, but also at some point everything stopped on the staircase. I think there were some people having difficulties with climbing. For right now, we did not have that much fog anymore, but you could see how fast the clouds were moving. So we had to enjoy literally every minute we had without fog, because it could come back very quickly. The views on this trail were so unbelievable. It was so insanely beautiful and it was so worth it. And on our way back, happily we got to see all the beautiful views. The fog did not come back. So this is the hardest part of the trail. Like you can see just how fast you are climbing or descending depending on which side you're on. It is really difficult. Anyways, now that the video is coming to an end, I want to show you some videos from the next video with these amazingly beautiful views. And I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it and also to subscribe, and see you in the next video about part 2.